Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast episode here with the Age of Charlemagne. The Danish saga continues. The conquest of England. Ha 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 ha. Those singly Englishmen won't know what hit them. Well, probably they do, but not too much either. So we basically got Deganwy here under siege, and we got Mathraful, which will soon fall to the might of the Danes. Question is, should we do Deganwy first here, sort of quick strike back with the navy, or should we just go for the bigger one here with our mighty heathen army? Get the job done.
Lay siege to their hovels.
I probably could... no, that would be dull. It's going to be a bit tricky. They got plenty of infantry, some cavalry. In fact, this is a reinforcing army, not the garrison. Which could mean there's a bit of a problem there, so we sort of hit it, but at the same time, with a few siege towers, we should be able to push through, plus the battering ram should also help deal with things. Then again, a part of me just might consider getting another siege tower. Hard to say. And of course, then we have Deganwy over here, which certainly is a bit less clear-cut, certainly, in terms of if you look at that one. But now, if I just storm it, it should probably easily done with, if anything. Well, let's get the bigger ones done first. That might have an effect on the not so big one. Forwards, men! The Englishmen! Again, so we gotta keep a watch there on the reinforcing troops. St. Albans champions. I'll probably have my more heavily armed troops than the siege towers. Only got one unit of archery about. And we got rain too. Now that's actually what we want here, because that means they're going to have a harder time setting my siege towers on fire. So a bit of rain here should do us good.
Ready for battle?
There we go.
As you say, we'll kill them all. Get on the tower. Man the tower.
Man the tower.
Freeman.
Yeah, we can use some of the more expendable freemen here to sort of ram the gate open while we strike at the walls here with some heavily armed troops, which also means it's going to be a lot harder to stop them. In particular, the axemen will be, well, quite axy there as they break into them. We use spearmen to sort of cover against any assaults on the flanks. Of course, there's a bit of issue of the towers, but the archers with some fire arrows should help with that. Again, it's the reinforcing army I'm slightly worried about. A good strike from the cavalry could cause problems, but that is that.
So we come to the enemy's home. We stand before these walls, knowing this is a great victory. And once we have taken
Yeah, and where did the reinforcements come from? Southwest. You sit up there.
The enemy draws near.
I'll move that one as a reserve, I guess.
We'll kill them all.
You're not. There we go. The additional axemen. Looks like we got no archers on the walls here, just their third axemen, which of course aren't quite the same as the Danish axemen. Lots of fires. No archers though. I would have figured they have the archers on the walls here, but perhaps they're figuring, you know, the Danish archers supremacy might be a bit much here. And sure, it's raining, but with enough fires, that thing's going to go down anyways. But it just, you know, means in case they had fire archers, I'm pretty sure my towers would have gone down and not quite as fast, and that makes me, well, a bit easier to get them close. You know, Knut, this is quite wet. Yeah, it is quite wet, yeah. But we are used to that in Denmark too. There we go. Cavalry strikes. Flanking in with the spearmen.
We have destroyed the enemy tower.
There's one tower down, that is less fire on the attackers. Got the battering ram. By the looks of it, I won't need the other one, so I might as well abandon that. Finding here is proceeding quite nicely, flanking into cavalry, or a lot of horsemen there. That is basically all of the St. Alban ones anyways. Gonna rush in the other spearmen there to deal with the archers, keep them at bay.
They will bleed for us.
A bit of shooting there. Axemen, spearmen. I was actually a bit more worried, you know, but apparently there's not much reason to do that. The defensive for the wall seems, well, quite light. I'm guessing he's saying the rest up here on the well, bastion. Oh, wait, no, we've got skirmishers coming up now. We've got the Thane spearmen sort of going the way there.
Our spears are yours. Levy! The gods
Cheeky bastards.
The enemy tower is
Second
no
tower
more
down.
than wreckage now.
Sea towers moving up. Let's switch over to armor piercing actually. Breaking through the gate. Good work, men. Good work. Cavalry sneaking in there.
We will pierce their hearts. Take our heads. Levy! Kill!
Gotta kill the other general there.
Battle ready and eager.
My swordsmen are obviously going to suffer a bit here due to the fact that I'm changed to the axemen, but still they should have an overall better chance there. The spearmen on the other hand are going to have a very bad day, so of course confronted with my armoured axemen.
We'll kill them all.
Go. Let's moving in
The
there.
enemy has found our concealed units.
You strike in there, hit them on the rear.
Eager.
Ah, my swordsmen are getting absolutely slaughtered there. Again, those axemen don't quite care as much about armour as they could have. It also looks like something else doing all the killing there, actually. Maybe the javelin men? Oh, wait, they're going to get flanked. Ooh, archers are there. You get moving. You get moving.
We hunger for blood and battle.
You get moving as well. Oh, wait, the gate's open.
The enemy refuses to admit defeat. Their unit has rallied.
Royal companions fighting onwards. King and country or whatever. Go flanking their axemen. They're quickly dying out there. Sword hit me not doing too well. There we go. There we go. They're broken. Forwards. To loot and plunder.
Enemy general is fallen.
And the enemy general is dead. That's probably the one over there. That has suffered
The enemy
a
are losing
catastrophic blow.
ground.
Got more axemen rushing in.
Warriors, eager
Salt him
for
and doing a lot
blood.
there now as well.
We hunger for blood and battle.
Blood there, heads being cut off with axes. Lots of decapitations, really. We call this a greeting in Denmark. Off with your head.
Run, curse you! Run! Run, curse you! Melee fighters ready!
Yeah, they're just getting absolutely butchered there. Nothing short of butchered. The gates are broken, the walls are covered in the blood of Englishmen. A few Danes too, but, you know, mostly Englishmen. That's what matters.
They will bleed for us.
That is very much what matters. Hunting down their archers there, secure the gate, all the matters of it.
The enemy is attacking our general. We hunger for blood and battle. We hunger for blood and battle.
Hunting down the archers.
Battle ready.
They're running up for a siege tower. I can't help but feel this is a bit wrong, Harry. Aren't we supposed to be the ones, you know, defending the walls, not the other guys?
We'll kill them all.
You're getting them butchered.
Scrappers ready.
Bit of a rev event there, and there you go, they have quickly halted.
Eager for blood.
Can Round at the Royal Companion. Oh dear, straight into the Axemen.
The enemy is at the walls!
The enemy is at the walls! Wait, that sounds wrong! Very wrong. Oh wait, I do think this is the end of them. Not really much left here. You got the Royal Companion trying the best to not get cut down by axes. We've even got the King here fighting at the front line. Got the Headman moving up there. Right, the Royal Companion are doing alright. There they are, I believe, competent fighters. So they got rather high melee defense, which rather makes it difficult for the Axemen just sort of push through with sheer numbers. I believe the Hitman might provide a bit more of the impetus there with a higher attack skill. Not frightfully high actually though. Just to push through there, of course. Decent melee defense. Of course they got a bit more armor, which does give them a better chance of not getting horribly killed. You know, I think you should try going up there instead. You know, let us try and hit them from another angle. Just a suggestion, just a thought. Seeing as we basically just got these fellows, you know, we'll just sort of speed up there. And they'll still choose to... Come on, you idiots! That... Oh, it's been blocked, of course! Even then they go through the... Ugh. Lousy communists. Oh well, he's tiring out there. They lost too much. He is the only one left standing there. Just get it done with.
We are capturing a victory point.
Just, yeah. Worm. And it's great he's got all that armor as a person ascends, but you know it does mean he takes ages to get through. There you go. Come on, just give up, you know. You know you want to. You know you want to be somewhere else. We can put in a good word for you at Valhalla. Just, you know, die, please. Why are the spear guys the one going in, the archers going in before everybody else? Christ. Oh, we're grabbing the victory point right behind them.
The men have thrown down their weapons and are fleeing.
Again, I'm not entirely sure why my archers got so eager. There we go, there we go. Finally, that took a bit too long there, I think. A bit too long. Crap, 500 men? You really kill that many? Who does he serve? Corn? Clearly something's a bit afoot here in England. Clearly something is not quite right. At all.
I am the wild
500? What the devil is that supposed to be?
thirsty for battle. Fleet
Right, try to strike at Deganvi. 2 epic battles in a row. Well, perhaps not quite as epic with this one, but still, you know. Stuff is gonna die, gonna get murdered. For the glory of Denmark. We need a flag we're going to come up with in a few hundred years. Yeah, sure, why not? Not gonna make a difference here, but you know. Stylistically, it looks nice when it's raining when you're attacking, you know, makes it more depressing for the enemy when they're about to get slaughtered.
Go to shore, men. You are
guess I can have him deal with, or them deal with the towers, no? Apparently they cannot shoot at towers, they cannot shoot at static objects. Interesting. Fascinating handicap for a ship crew. Now don't worry, it's just regulations from our union. We cannot shoot at static targets. That is to be left for actual archers. And not ship archers. We are terribly sorry about that. Was it because I'm not using fire arrows? Oh, that was because of it. Explains it.
The odds are against us. We are outnumbered.
We are outnumbered. Not quite really. Got the general there, their field boatmen.
We shall speak of this day.
Quickly, men, fortify the beaches. You'll show those damn Danes what for.
Assault ships reporting. Ready and waiting.
Now, if they could actually just hit the damn target.
Ships high.
And again, got a nice fat target there. Shoot! They got the rears exposed. There we go. That was impressively poor.
Set them ablaze.
Right. Getting ashore there. Light firing that ship.
Ammo. Ashore. On ashore.
Oi! Get in there. You're not paid just to supervise. Alright, you catch the cavalry, quickly cut them down. Cutting off as many heads as humanly possible in the shortest amount of possible time then. Good work, that's the Danish spirit we like to see. Going down the cavalry too, with the axes, splendid. Still terrible at hitting anything, I see. Oh, just for Joe's regular shot, there we go.
Ships high. Kill them all.
Go set those guys running.
Viking Raiders. Oh yes, move out. Too slow, go. Kill. Warlord. Forward. Battle ready.
More spearmen, in this case I do believe that is their general. He's about to get axed. More lovely axe work. The best kind of axe work.
Viking Raiders.
Ladies doing good work here as well. Western part of the town being run over. Archers on the run there.
The enemy is attacking our general.
Go. Down.
Fighters ready.
Smashes there. Close to dying. They just need to grab that tower.
Warlord.
Of course, clearly my archers can't be trusted to do it.
Ready. Viking Raiders.
They're just running. Typical Englishman.
Ready for battle.
Kinda wish, for raiders they're a bit better at grabbing points.
Battle ready and eager.
Got the point, that should hurt the morale a bit. Come on, not quite yet. Ah, well, too late. I was going to have them reload.
Ready.
Bit, so they weren't quite as deprived of munitions.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display. Ships awaiting your word.
And again, here we do sort of see one of the weaknesses perhaps of this. You know, there's no real way again of sort of dealing with the archers because again you're basically foot infantry. They can just keep running while the towers shoot at you. There's no way of sort of, you know, quickly deciding it.
Losing hope. Our men have given up and are
And this one could easily be decided just by the archer towers. It's a bit dull. Ah, those guys lost again. Archer towers.
Gotcha.
Bloody nuisance.
Ships awaiting your word. We'll kill them all. Battle ready and eager.
Grab the tower, grab the tower.
We hunger for blood and battle.
Just deal with as many of them as possible.
The men are running, cowards.
Almost got it, almost.
Back, understood. Warriors, back!
Ah, cowards.
Oh, Lord. The gods watch over us.
Spearmen on the run.
Pause! Aye!
Seems like the archers though run out of ammo.
Warriors eager for blood. Move out!
These guys still have plenty.
Oh, Lord. We'll kill them all. All right. Charge! Horse fire! Scrubbers ready!
This is taking ages.
Gods want
You can't apparently pursue through the trees easily.
God!
It kind of, you know, does occasionally think perhaps that he just lower the morale of the archers. I mean, for archers, you know, people not heavily armoured and not meant for melee defense, they are surprisingly courageous. Let's see when the rest of the army has more or less been broken already.
Warriors! Fire! Gods protect us!
God damn it, just get moving.
Ah! Warlord! The enemy's tower has been destroyed! Ready and able! Ah! Warlord! Move it! Warriors!
Christ. I'm just going to speed this up because this is getting a bit silly. Gotta run them all the way over to the edge, apparently. And the spearmen are just... Oh, there we go. Finally realising perhaps they need to be elsewhere and die. Yes. Die, you useless bastards.
The men are broken
No!
and running
Ow!
for their lives.
Come on!
A unit has used all available ammunition.
Is that the best you can do? Christ. They run all the way over there and then they break like cowards. This has got to be one of the most boring raids ever. My apologies, dear viewers. My apologies. This isn't exactly fun. And again, it perhaps does highlight, despite how much they want naval raiding and all that sort of happening, it doesn't quite work because again, this can happen. I mean, just to limit what I can do with it.
The enemy
Probably
are ambushing us.
after this, I might just disband my navy because beyond that, there's not really much use for it. I mean, they're trying, I mean, it's nice, I guess. It's just not working.
One of our units can no longer fire.
Christ almighty, I have to get hunting them down. mean, it sounds nice, like, you know, raiding us the Vikings, but again, the naval part of it just doesn't work because their reach is too limited, and it happens. I mean, there's no victory point in these small towns, it's just, you know, a morale point, or whatever you call it. But there's nothing that actually forces them to defend it or to hold it. Oh, there we go, finally, that was bloody awful. The town, had there just been a victory point, this could probably much faster over. Instead,
Yes.
some rather needless losses and a waste of time. Probably last time I'll do that, and again I'll probably just scrap the navy after this. It'll probably free me up some money as well. So there you go. Ooh, lead. And another nice decent sale farm, so that's a nice chunk of money for the next turn. Should help me a bit there. What do we want there? Oh right, we want the... oh wait, we want that one there. Righty. You're doing what you can there. Goody goody. And here, the True Faith, of course, is now taking more control of things. So there we go. There we go. Boring battle over. On to the more exciting ones, I hope. After this, we'll probably lose Lincoln, though, to those damn rebels. Gnupa. Very typical. No, it's not. It's terrible. Learn tutor. And that, my lord, is how we know the Earth to be banana-shaped. Fascinating. Let's just initially get him as much authority as possible and keep those silly Englishmen in check. Troops being raised there by Chester. I do believe that is the last foothold of the Mercian army. Rest has fallen before the might of the Danish men there.
Ready for battle.
Right, cutting that down, replacing this with a... yes.
Thirsty for battle.
Going in there, that should be a pretty quick battle. No, apparently not. You got a new king there. They really got a lot of those crowns, because I'm pretty sure I'm stealing most of them. Actually. Considering the state of my men, let's think about that one a bit. Putting that fellow back there for fresh training in the Wessex province.
You have further orders?
Got the rebels there we got to deal with as well, before they cause any further trouble. And they are clearly, of course, impressed by the size of the Danish army. Ah, sword through the head, the only way to get things done.
Getting on our way.
Did we actually anything done in Denmark? No. Also, apparently, fun fact, Hilby at this point didn't even exist. It was actually came out after the Danes burned down another city, and then sort of just invited all the merchants to go to Hilby. Fun little fact there. Fun little fact. Aarhus also at this point, I believe, didn't exist either. That also came down a few hundred years later. Fun fact. So the only one I think that might actually exist at this point is Rive. But of course that might mean they'd have to pull up some other villages. I suppose these two towns, of course, the most otherwise known in that reasonable time frame. But still, little fun fact there, little fun fact there. And obviously for this time, you know, the Danes are a bit too early as well to sort of be conquering. I mean, again, that came a few hundred years later after the initial raid, you know, building up funds, and of course they made money off it, and then just like, you know, let's take this one step further, sort of mentality, if you will. Right, the buildings are doing quite a bit there, keeping the Englishmen under control. That is wonderful, that is wonderful. And of course this is fine with food. Need to turn this to a manor, since that actually means I get bonuses here from this amount of wealth, which is what we like and what we want. Well, I want it. I'm sure my opponent doesn't want it, don't mind me. Also got plenty here to do. Quite as lovely as the other bits. We are going to need, though, a sacred spring to ensure this doesn't cause disease. Actually, let's not do it there. Let's do it here. That way I can set up a mill here to sort of take advantage of the farm and the mine for more gold for the Danish coffers. I mean, basically want all of England just to be sort of a huge money generator for the Danish kingdom. Whereas Winchester in particular, of course, are going to be rather important in that regard in the longer run. Obviously other parts as well, like for example Mercia and such. And of course Wales will be more about the metal as well. We got lead here, which is good. And we got, of course, the iron. I don't want to trade with the Scots, so let's see if Norden Bingia for once wants to trade. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Why don't you want to trade? I guess I could trade with the Irish.
Greetings, friend.
No, they don't want to trade. Well, screw you. I'm gonna come. I wasn't going to do that anyways. Shall we do a third battle here?
Attack!
A third strike. Mafrabal's going to need someone to keep check on it soon enough before that breaks into bloody rebellion. Getting Chester now, of course, would be beneficial, I do believe. And there's, of course, the garrison. I was more thinking, you know, food, money, more fields, and of course another manorial court, which again means cha-ching! Money in the Danish coffers and treasury. So should we go in there and sort of try and finish it off there? Should we just wait? I do believe this episode has almost run its course, so might as well be time to sort of end it here. Oh, we got more rebels up north here by Strahanshall. Bamberg looks lightly defended, by the way. Very lightly.
The goddess blesses you. How can I help?
I guess I can actually abandon here. Move the characters up there to assist in keeping that area a bit more under control. I mean, Winchester is now rather suitably Danishified here with sacred groves. And of course, the Warriors Hall to remind people there's a big man with a big axe in case they decide to be, you know, funny. In fact, we got several types of axemen here guarding Winchester. Armoured ones, big ones, not quite as big ones. Several reminders as what happens if you do try to strike up against the Danish kingdom.
Attack!
So, I think we shall sort of save Chester and basically the last of Mercia for the next episode. We'll sort of quickly do that then there, and of course strike further upwards here into what remains of Northumbria, and then sort of deal with the Scots here, the kingdom of Alt-Clut, which really has to be one of the most amazing names ever, Alt-Clut. And of course we got just the kingdom of the Picts, which is probably going to be quite an pain in the arse. Got here the Scots, we got kingdom of Ailech, Connachta, and Munster, which seems to secure most of the rest of the place. In fact, there's only 3 kingdoms. I do believe there's actually more than that, but seems like they divvied up Ireland quite nicely, and I'm guessing Munster's going to be a bit more of the problem here compared to the Alt-Clut or, well, Connachta. So hopefully again this has been an interesting episode. If it, you know, feel free to again comment, like, subscribe, share with everyone and wherever you can. As every bit of that, of course, helps me, and of course, every like helps more people view this. So again, hopefully, this was enjoyed. Of course, you've got suggestions, comments, and so on. Good for that as well, and of course, perhaps some suggestions if we should go for short or long victory. Short, of course, means more quickly and fastly over, but of course, long victory will have, of course, later tier stuff, like for example, the stuff here, like Housecarls, the Champion Hall. That could have some interesting bits there as well down the road, but of course, also means there's a bit of a chance of sort of turning into a grind. So, of course, that is something to keep in mind. For now, anyways. But anyways, thank you all for joining in. See you all in about 2 days, and cheers to everybody. Bye.